Welcome to Knock Talk. I'm your host, William Hall, broadcasting live from Kingsland, Texas, USA, with another episode of TNT, the Twisted New Testament, with Rabbi Stuart Federow from the Big Houston, Texas. What's going on, Rabbi? How are you?
Way too much. You wouldn't believe me if I told you, but yesterday I did a baby naming via Zoom.
A baby naming via Zoom.
Yes.
Wow.
Via Zoom. Because, the whole coronavirus not getting together thing.
Yep.
So we had to do it basically through the internet with about 30 people watching the Brit Milah and the baby naming. So
wow. That's awesome.
Yeah, very weird.
That's cool, though. It's going to open everybody's mind up to doing other things.
Yep.
Okay, guys. Phone number is 855-952-4253. The number is not on your screen, but I can have it up there in just a few minutes. But for now, it's going to be open topic tonight. You guys call in with your questions. The phone lines are open. And 855-95-BIBLE. So if you got a phone that's got letters on it, that's it. 855-95-BIBLE. I'll see if I can edit that real quick to include that number. Give me 1 second. 952-4253. Not MetaShare. We are not MetaShare.
You're like only 2 digits off or something.
That must be. These people are really just...
I think you're 855 and I think they're 844 or something like that.
Ah, no kidding. How about that?
It's something like that.
Now, I will tell you, I think MetaShare is a Christian-based health insurance of some kind, but it is Christian-based. Maybe they use the 844-95-Bible. Maybe that's what it is, yeah. Very well could be, sir. So very cool, man.
Yep.
Rock on. Well, numbers on your screen. You have to give us a call. Phone lines are open. You know what I could do just for fun while I'm waiting for somebody to call is I could just play something that people have already called in and see what they have to say. You want to do that? We'll play a phone call roulette and see what we get.
Yeah, why not?
All right, cool. Might give us our first topic, for all we know.
Is everybody back in the groove?
Everybody, would you like to explain what you mean by that?
Well, you were on vacation and the virus and everything else.
Yep.
People were gone. So,
Yes, sir. Yeah, everybody. We went to Oklahoma knowing the whole coronavirus thing was out, but they were very careful on who actually came. Everybody came was of course, you never know if you got it until like 2 weeks later, but so it's kind of a gamble no matter how you slice it. But everybody was happy and healthy, and the people who just didn't feel like coming stayed home, so that was good. And it was fun. We had a good time. It was a good time to unplug. Well, I don't know if it was a good time to unplug.
Christo, why are you quarantined? Did you run into somebody who had it?
Hey, let's pull up the YouTube channel. Let's see what we got here. What's up, everybody? 5 people watching. Come on, y'all need to tune in. There's probably some on Facebook, I'm going to imagine. Let me check it out.
Well, Christo says he was in quarantine.
Right. Where's my Facebook account? There it is right there.
I'm on YouTube chat.
I just want to see how many people are actually on Facebook, because if there's more there, and there are...
Oh, boy. Christo's been exposed. Hey, Christo, we're praying for you, buddy.
Hey, Tessa,
Careful.
Good to see you, bro.
Stay safe, stay healthy.
Why don't y'all switch over to YouTube if you don't mind? That way we can kind of keep all y'all together, and I don't usually keep track of the Facebook live chat, so if y'all want to switch over to the YouTube channel, that would be awesome. There you go. There's 18 watching on Facebook, and we've only got about 5 on YouTube right now. That number usually increases after about 15, 20 minutes once they start getting their alerts, and that way we can keep track of everybody. But hello, everybody. Rachel Hines, Fred, Lee Rolls, good to see you guys. Thank you for all tuning in. It is open topic tonight, so you guys call in with your Bible questions. 855.
Yeah, we're just sitting around talking.
Yep. We are. There we go. Looks like there's a couple more showed up the path. Crystal Devon, Julie's there. Stuart Federow, man, I tell you what, that dude. Yasmin Coates, how are you? Devon, shalom. Cool. Oh, that's good. Crystal says this is really helping me during my quarantine. I'm sure that probably a lot of people feel that way too.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at. He says he got exposed to the illness.
Yep, there you go. Man, that's too bad. Refuah Shlema, you should be completely
really stay healthy.
From that. Yeah, for sure. Right on. All right, so now you watch for YouTube comments as nobody's calling in, and I will play something here and see what we got here. Ready?
My name is Shulman from Florida, and I have a question for the rabbi. I was adopted into a mixed home. The strongest feature was Christianity, but Judaism was an underlying a fact of the life. And when I was 16, I decided the Jewish people are my people. And
Okay, we'll definitely come back to that.
Yeah.
Welcome, you're live on the air. Please tell us your name and where you're calling from. Please turn down your computer if you don't mind.
Yeah, I just did it.
Oh, hey.
Sorry. It's
hey.
Tessa.
Hey, Tessa, how are you?
Well, super good. I've been wearing my PJs all day. I mean, I haven't been exposed, but I think we're all under quarantine.
We are. We are.
Pretty much.
And I had this question. So I was thinking some stuff about Jeremiah 31:31. And everything that they say about that.
Very
right?
nice. Yeah, it's a
someone
good
was
verse.
like, "Oy vavoy, you've rejected the faith, and so you've rejected the new covenant." And I said, "Well, is there a new covenant?" What is the Jewish expectation of Jeremiah 31:31? Because we got to ask ourselves, well, how were we just graciously given access to even know the book of Genesis? What was the expectation Jewishly for Jeremiah 31:31, renewing the covenant with Israel and Judah, and would it have an impact on the Goyish world? Did it look like the
31,
land covenant? Because I thought
31:31 was seek for me and you shall find me if you seek with me with all your heart. That's a different one, I guess.
Oh.
Maybe. Let me double check.
The 31:31 is the.
Let me Google it real quick because I thought I was quoting.
No, he said you're right. He said 31:31 is the covenant part. I'm thinking of a different verse, I guess.
Right.
I'll look that up right now. No, you got it right.
So I was thinking, every generation's kind of thought, especially on the
29:13 is what I was thinking of. I apologize.
That we're like, we're part of the covenant, maybe with Israel, but when we read it for what it is a covenant strictly with Judah and Israel.
You know what?
Was there any? Did anything get touched on that? Like when they came back to the land.
Very nice.
Didn't the world change? Didn't it kind of set our generation differently than the prior generations? I don't know. But what is the Jewish expectation of the renewal of the covenant with Israel and Judah? What does that look like? What do the sages say? Since it's not Christianity.
Right on. Okay, Tessa, if you want to go ahead and hang up, we'll open up the phone lines and we'll go ahead and take right off on it, okay? That's a great question. Thank you for asking that. That's going to give us our leading topic for tonight that I can give it a title later on. Thank you, Tessa.
Yofi Tov.
Okay,
thank you.
Bye-bye.
Talk to you later.
Bye-bye. Cool.
Yofi Tov? Never heard that one.
I've heard Yofi. I know what Tov means. What is Yofi? I forget.
Yofi is beautiful. Yafeh.
Oh, that's cool.
Nice. Pretty. And Tov obviously is good, like...
very beautiful. Very
right.
good. Like Tov Meod.
Yes.
Okay.
Beautiful and good. Yofi Tofi. All right. So, okay. Let me put it this way. Okay. Just throw away everything. Don't even think about Jeremiah 31:31. Don't think about anything at all. But just take the generic concept, Jewish concept, of the Messiah. Okay, the Messiah comes. Does the Messiah only bring peace to the Jews?
Okay.
That was a question.
Oh, does the Messiah only bring peace? No, it brings peace to everybody.
Exactly. So does the Messiah turn only the hearts of the Jews back to God?
No.
Does the Messiah only bring an absence of famine to the Jewish community worldwide?
Wow.
No.
Right.
In other words, the Messiah comes, and he comes to the Jews, for the Jews, by the Jews, of the Jews, whatever. But the effect, the ripple effect, the pebble in the water springing out, goes throughout the world. So you can't, it becomes very nitpick. No, that's not the word. It becomes very difficult to say, well, this is only for the Jews, or this is not, it doesn't have its effect. So when you come to Jeremiah 31:31, which really doesn't start with Jeremiah 31:31, okay, but when you come to this, okay, look at what it's saying, okay? Yes, the covenant is renewed, reaffirmed, reestablished, validated, verified between God and the entire Jewish people, because as she said, it's the house of Israel and the house of Judah, which means it's the reunification of the northern and southern kingdoms. Okay. But when it says they shall teach no more every man his neighbor and every man his brother, saying, Know the Eternal, for they shall all know me, from the least of them to the greatest of them, saith the Eternal, for I will give their sin and I will remember their sin no more. Why would one assume that it's only talking about the Jewish community? So, and if we were to say that this is, the reestablishment of the covenant between God and the entirety of the Jewish people, there are still ripple effects with the rest of the universe, okay, rest of the world. Now, what'd you say?
No, I was just thinking, but the verse itself says it's going to be strictly with the house of Judah and the house of Israel.
No. Yes, the covenant is made with reaffirmed, reestablished.
Got it.
Okay, with the Jewish people as an entirety, the house of Israel and the house of Judah. That's true. I'm not arguing that.
Gotcha.
But there's a ripple effect of the Messiah's coming. Okay, there's a ripple effect when God renews the covenant with the Jewish people. Okay, it still has its effect on the entirety of the world. When God renews the covenant with Jacob, thereby reaffirming and reestablishing the covenant with Isaac, and thereby reestablishing and reaffirming the covenant with Abraham, okay, the effect of that covenant isn't just with the Jews. The effect of that covenant, not the covenant itself, but the effect of that covenant is that the Jewish people as a people, descendant of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, or I should say Jacob and Isaac and Abraham, will still affect the entirety of the world. We're going to be a light to the
Nations.
fellow Jewish people.
Right.
Exactly. We're going to be a light to the nations. So reaffirming, reestablishing that covenant still has an effect on the rest of the world. So when Jeremiah 31:31 tells us that the covenant is renewed, reestablished, reaffirmed, made with the house of Israel, the house of Judah, the northern and southern kingdom reunited, there's still the effect on the entirety of the world. So when you have 34, they shall teach no more every man his neighbor and every man his brother, saying, Know God, because they're already going to know God. I think that that's an expression of the entirety of the world coming to the belief in one God, which, by the way, you have reflected in other passages in the Tanakh, that the whole world comes to know God in the days of the Messiah.
Right.
Okay, but remember something. Okay, and everybody's, this is redundant by saying the same things over and over again more than once or twice. But if you take a look at 31:31, okay, it says, Behold, the days come, saith the Eternal, and goes on from there. The days come tells us that this is, in fact, a prophecy of the future, right?
Okay. Yes. Right.
Okay, so now go back to verse 27.
Okay. Get my mouse there. 27. There we go. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will sow the house of Israel and the house of Judah with the seed of man
And
with
the seed of beast. In other words, it's still part of the same prophecy that also began 31:31. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord. And 31:27. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord.
Right.
So it's the same prophecy. And look at verse 29.
Okay, in those days.
Wait. Let's finish with 27. Everybody's done this already, but we'll just redo it a little bit. Okay, behold, the days come, saith the Lord. It's the same thing as in 31, so therefore it's the same prophecy in the future. And it talks about the house of Israel and the house of Judah rejoining, and it's sown with the seed of man, which means the population will renew itself, will grow. Okay, they're going to become great again. With the seed of beast means that we're going to become, have much cattle, whatever. 28, it shall come to pass like that I has watched over them to pluck up and break down and throw down and to destroy and to afflict. Okay, remember this is post-destruction of the temple. So will I watch over them to build and to plant, which means God is now forgiven them and is reestablishing them and bringing them back to the land of Israel, etc. But look what it says now in verse 29:30, which leads into 31. In those days they shall say no more, the fathers have eaten a sour grape and the children's teeth are set on edge. What does that mean? The parents sin and the kids get the guilt for the sin. Okay, they're not going to say that anymore. And how do we know that that's what it means? Because look at 31:30, but everyone shall die for his own sin. Every man that eats the sour grape, his teeth shall be set on edge. which means that this whole concept of somebody else dying for your sin is baloney, and people stop believing it. If that's the case, and then it leads right into 31:31 that Christians like quoting, okay, of this new covenant reestablishing with the house of Israel and the house of Judah, just like it said in verse 27, it means what? That only the Jews are going to stop believing this? That one person can die for the sins of another? No, I think this affects the entirety of the world. Now, Tessa asked about rabbinic commentary, and I have to review it. It's been a while since I've seen rabbinic commentary on this. Okay, but if you can go to Chabad. If you really want to do that, we could do that. Okay. Let's see. Not sure what it's.
It's okay. So, the literal. What is the literal? What are we supposed to be taking literally from 31:31? Exactly what it says. In other words.
Well, if you take it literally, you have to take it with what exactly as it says.
Right.
Okay, the days are going to come where the southern and northern kingdom will be reunited. Okay, and in the same way that they were broken down with the first and second destruction, he's really talking about the first destruction, but the destruction, shall we say, of the temple, they're also going to be built back up. This whole concept of somebody else can die for your sin, or the idea that children suffer the guilt from sins committed by the parents, is going to be just nonsense. It is nonsense, and people are going to stop saying it. They're not going to believe it anymore, which is basically the basis of Christianity. And then it goes on to say in 31 that this new covenant established again with the house of Israel and the house of Judah, reunited northern and southern kingdom, okay, is going to be a different kind of covenant, where instead of having to look in books, everybody will have it in their own heart. Okay? I will put my law in their inward parts. This is verse 33. I'll put my law in their inward parts and write it on their hearts. I will be their God. They will be my people. Okay? Again, this is said to the Jewish community, but there is a ripple effect when the Messiah comes. It affects the entirety of the world. And when it says no man will have to convert everybody else to become a believer in God, like Christians continually try to missionize us, okay, that's a characteristic of this new covenant, is that nobody's going to have to missionize anybody else. Everybody's going to believe in God. Okay, so let's see. Show. Okay, and okay. Right. So Rashi on 28, and the teeth of the children shall be set on edge. His comment is the children for the father's sin. Okay. Really not a whole lot more commentary on this than that.
All right. Caller, sit tight.
Okay.
We'll be right with you.
All right. So for that section, that's really the only comment it has is on 28, according to the Rashi on Chabad.com, .org, Chabad.org.
Okay.
So it basically it's just saying,
Very good.
It's interpreting that the same way I just did. So.
Okay, we'll take the caller. Caller, welcome to the show. Please tell us your name, where you're calling from.
Devin Coates, and I'm calling from Colbert, Oklahoma.
Hey, Devin.
Hi,
how
Devin.
are you, man?
Hi.
Colbert, Oklahoma.
I'll get you. This is straight off of the YouTube chat, so I'll let you know.
Okay.
So there's two questions, and they're both tied together. Is it a spirit we know, or Elijah himself? And then will Elijah focus on family unity or macro scale tribal unity?
What was that last part?
Yeah, repeat that last
will
part.
He focus? Will he? It's Malachi 4:6. Will he focus on family unity or macro scale tribal unity?
Macro scale tribal unity.
Micro.
Devin, you always have the most interesting way to word things. All right. Okay.
Okay, go ahead and hang up now. We'll have him get to it. Thanks.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Where'd you go? Malachi 4, last paragraph. Okay. I have no earthly idea where he... Okay, that's fine. All right. All right. First of all, tell me what happened with Elijah. Okay?
He got taken up in a whirlwind.
To where?
Well, to somewhere not on the earth, in heaven probably.
Exactly. Okay. And did he die in order to go to heaven?
No.
Thank you. Therefore, he is bodily in heaven. He is not dead. He is living there as you and I are living here.
Right.
So if the prophecy of Malachi, let's go back to it. Sorry. If the prophecy of Malachi, verse 4, chapter 4, verse 5 and 6. Okay. Do you have it up?
I do.
Okay. Behold, I will send you Elijah the prophet before the coming of the great and dreadful day of the Eternal, and he shall turn the heart of the fathers to the children, and the heart of the children to their fathers, or else I will come and smite the land with a curse. Why would anybody think that if we know Elijah the prophet went bodily up to heaven, why would this be some sort of spooky ghost or whatever? Why would this be? Anybody could be Elijah. They just don't happen to know it. Like just if you'll accept it, it's John the Baptist,
which he denied, by the way.
Where does that come? It's somebody when they invented the stories of the New Testament. Okay, somebody said, well, I thought Elijah was supposed to come beforehand. So they wrote words and put them into Jesus's mouth saying, well, if you'll accept it, it's Elijah the prophet. But if you won't accept it, that's your problem.
Uh-huh.
The implication, that's the implication. He doesn't really say that. But the implication is, if you don't accept it, it's your problem.
Right, yeah.
Okay, so why would it be anything but the real, live, honest to goodness, bona fide, actual, in the flesh Elijah, who was the prophet, who comes back to earth to, and I don't, what was his phrase again? Devin's phrase about individual. I forgot how he worded it.
Micromanagement of some
of tribal. So
yeah,
I have
tribal,
no
right.
idea where he gets that. It says
macro management. Yeah.
Yeah, heart of the fathers to the children, heart of the children to their fathers. This is everybody's child goes back to their parents. The parents' hearts are turned to the children. Okay, it's unless there's some commentary I'm unaware of, I don't see why this would be a tribal thing. This is, if it was a tribal, don't you think it would have said that?
Exactly.
Okay, so I'm not sure where that comes from. But what's interesting, okay, is what precisely did Jesus say? Let me get this back. Okay, come on. Let me find it real quick. Let's see. I'll use this. Okay. And I got to find it. Give me a second.
No worries. No worries.
Okay. See, if I were, Michael or Tovia, I'd just, right off the top of my head, I just can't remember anything anymore.
What was your context of the verse you're looking for?
Let's see. Wait a minute.
Rabbi, what's the context of what you're looking for?
I'm pretty sure. There it is. Yeah, I should have known. Matthew chapter 10, verse 34 and following.
Okay.
And keep Malachi close by, will you?
Okay, Matthew 10:34.
Yes. And this is like, I just couldn't remember Matthew 10:34. I knew where it was. I couldn't remember where it was. Yeah, whatever.
Okay, 10:34.
Yeah.
Think not that I come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword.
Now, here's the important part. For I have come to set a man against his father, and a daughter against her mother, and a daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law, and a man's enemies will be those of his own household. Wait a minute.
But he never.
Exactly.
But he never claimed to be Elijah. He claimed to be.
No. But don't you think that if
I know what you
Elijah
mean, yeah.
comes
Yeah.
to get everybody ready for the coming of the Messiah, that they'll have like the same task?
Yeah, exactly right.
Don't you think they'll have like the same? They want to do the same thing to the earth.
Right.
If Malachi is setting up the world to receive the real Messiah, that he's not going to do the opposite of what the Messiah.
Right. It would be like he's going to do.
world.
It'd be like him setting up a battle amongst his own heavenly things. I'll do this, and you fight against me, and we'll fight it out. That makes no sense.
It doesn't. Yeah. So obviously, Elijah is supposed to be doing the same things as the Messiah.
Right.
And Jesus, if the Messiah is supposed to turn the hearts of the fathers to the children, the hearts of the children to their fathers, or else I will come and smite the land with a curse. Okay. But in Matthew, Jesus himself, he came to set a man's enemies to be the members of his own household. Then you got a problem here, first of all. And if it says, if that's what happens, I'm going to come and smite the land with a curse. So maybe the land that was cursed was the second destruction of the temple, because Jesus came to set a man's foes to be those of his own household.
That is good.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah, that is really good.
So
no kidding. I never even seen that before.
No, I do not believe that Jesus doing this caused the second, destruction of the temple. But, if they want to play games with verses, so can we.
Well, I thought the first temple was destroyed from groundless hatred, and the second temple was destroyed because of idol worship.
You want to flip?
Did I get that wrong? Did I get it backwards?
You flipped it.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Second, but by the way, if you really look at the text, okay, it doesn't say that the second temple was destroyed only because of baseless hatred.
Gotcha.
Okay, the first, the first destruction of the temple was because of sin. Okay, idolatry, people doing the horrible things like the pagans around them, which was killing their child for the sake of their god. Sound familiar? But the second destruction of the temple, okay, yes, was baseless hatred, but there was more involved with that. People kind of forget that too.
Right.
Yeah, but at any rate, okay, if Malachi tells us that God is supposed to that Elijah is supposed to turn the hearts of the children to the parents and the parents to the children, but Jesus said he came to do the opposite, you would think that Elijah the prophet and the Messiah are having the same, running the same direction. And Matthew tells us that Jesus said he was doing the opposite.
Right. And so, that's just really weird, because it's even more grounds now for him claiming to be a Messiah, or people believing he's a Messiah. We still don't know what exactly Jesus claimed upon himself, but still.
We don't know what he said or didn't say.
But seeing that he accepted or had the title attached to him, and the fact that he did what he said he did in Matthew, would be even that much more reason to get rid of him, because he's violating God's principles, and he's trying to blame it on God, which makes him a false prophet, if you look at it that way too.
Absolutely.
So violation of the law. So another one to write down, guys.
Yep.
Wow. That's
okay.
crazy.
We were going to answer somebody, and then we got a phone call. We were talking.
You know what? You're right, but they already hung up. So I don't think they left a message either. So.
No, we were answering a message.
Oh yeah. Well, somebody actually called also, but then they didn't actually leave a message. So let me see what I got here.
Call back. Whoever you were, call back.
Okay, here we go. Listen up.
My name is Shulman from Florida, and I have a question for the rabbi. I was adopted into a mixed home. The strongest feature was Christianity, but Judaism was an underlying a fact of the life. And when I was 16, I decided the Jewish people are my people, and I even wanted to live in Israel from that point on. When I became older and adult, after I had children, I converted along with my young children, and we made Aliyah.
Wow.
Both of my sons had bar mitzvah, one of them in Israel. And now that they are grown and they've had exposure to their my adopted parents, the one that is Christian, and they have not rejected Judaism, but they also are incorporating Christianity into their lives, especially the ones that are married. What is their status if they, on the outward, have rejected Judaism, don't follow Judaism? Is it possible that they could reject their Judaism since they were converted as minors?
Okay, so I'm gonna ask you a question based on what she's saying. Sounds like she's saying they all converted, right? And now that they're getting older, they're getting married, and now they're kind of letting Christianity leak back into their lives. At what point? We'll kind of go with that for a minute. Where does their status lie now? I mean, I've heard some say once you've converted to Judaism, there is no returning. But then again, if you're in idol worship and you're a Jew, whether you're a convert or bloodborne, once you're practicing idolatry, doesn't that like neutralize or nullify your technically your spiritual move to Judaism?
Is she still on?
Well, there was a voicemail. Here's
Under my leadership and discretion,
here's the rest of it.
They both did choose to have a bar mitzvah. Orthodox, these are Orthodox conversions, and Orthodox bar mitzvahs. Thank you very much.
Okay, so that was pretty much the question then. So they got a full-blown conversion, Orthodox, when they were young. You know, the whole thing, Brit Milah, everything. But now that they're older and married, they're leaking back into mixing Christianity in with their faith. They have not rejected Judaism, but they have not isolated Judaism as their one path. So what's your thoughts on that?
All right. This is going to be a really sensitive area, okay?
Okay.
All right.
If you want to pass this one, we'll go to something else.
No, I don't want to pass it
Okay.
because I have very, very strong feelings about this.
Okay.
Okay, let me put it this way. Okay, have you ever watched a TV show called Law and Order or CSI?
Yes.
Okay, so the people at CSI or Law and Order, they have to get a judge's permission to do something. Okay.
Like a warrant or whatever.
A warrant. Let's say a warrant.
Right.
But maybe it's not as strong a reason to get a warrant. And they'll say, well, don't go to this judge. Okay, he's too strict. Go to this judge. He's a little looser, and we can get it from him. Okay.
Okay.
Well, I realize that we try to say that there is uniformity among rabbis in terms of this kind of thing, but some rabbis are machmir, very, very, very strict, and some rabbis are very open and allowing things. And I'm talking explicitly within the Orthodox community, all right?
Right.
Okay. Well, in this instance, you will find that a lot of the rabbinic literature, Chazal, says that once a person becomes a Jew, once a person is a Jew, they can never lose that Jewishness. But you will find rabbis who are very stringent and very strict, and they will say, no, that's not true. If a person converts to another religion, they're not a Jew anymore.
Right.
Or at least so long as they cling to their idolatry. If they cling to their idolatry while they are clinging to it, it is as if they are not Jews in any way, shape, or form. Okay, and frankly speaking, that's the side that I'm on.
Okay.
Okay. People will quote a passage from the Talmud. It's Sanhedrin 44a. Okay. It's a reference to a biblical story. Okay. The Jews are told when you go into the land and you make this war, you're not supposed to take any loot for yourself. Okay. And me and names. Achan. Yeah, Achan is the guy's name, and he takes loot for himself. And the rabbi said of him, because he went against God's word and he sinned, even though he sinned, he's still a Jew.
Okay.
Okay. In the beginning in the 1300s, you had the forced conversions by Christianity of the Jews to Christianity. And in the 1300s, the only kind basically where the Jews lived was either Russian Orthodox, Greek Orthodox, or Roman Catholic. By and large, we're talking Roman Catholicism.
Okay.
And they would force the Jews to convert to Christianity, literally on pain of death or losing their fortunes or what have you. And frankly, many of them succumbed. They gave in to the pressure. Okay. So what is their status while they are not Jewish? Excuse me. Badly stated.
Right.
What is their status while they are acting as Christians?
Right.
And if you take a look at the literature, basically, if in their heart they didn't convert, but they were only trying to do this outwardly to get to survive, okay, if they came out of the lands where they were forced to be Christian, they would escape. They would hop a boat, leave everything behind, and go to a country that was basically Muslim, by the way, go to a country that was nicer to its Jews, okay, they'd want to return. So in order to make the return easy, the rabbis were very lenient. They would say, well, you never really, they don't say it in these words, by the way, but by and large, the idea is you didn't convert in your heart. You're only doing this outwardly.
Right.
They made the return easy. And that gave the idea to a myth, okay, that if a Jew sins by becoming a member of another religion, well, they're still Jewish.
But
Okay,
there's the difference I see there, though, would be in a sense of forced conversion, they are afraid of their life. But in the sense of, like this lady here, she's talking about how they just slowly started adopting Christianity, allowing Christianity. So that's by choice.
This means they are doing it by their own will.
Right, right.
They're not being forced into it.
That's
They're
what
not
I mean.
given the choice.
Okay.
Remember something.
Right.
Christianity gave the Jews three choices in 1492 when Columbus sailed the ocean blue. He said, Ferdinand and Isabella said, you got to be out of the country of Spain on such and such a date, which, by the way, happened to be the 9th day of the Jewish month of Av, Tisha B'Av,
Wow.
in 1492. Okay. And they said, you're going to be out of the country, or if you're in the country, you'll be Catholic, and your third choice is dead.
Right.
That was it. When they, seven, I can't remember, 7, 8, 9, 7, whatever years later, many of them had fled west to Portugal, and in Portugal, they weren't allowed to leave. You're either going to convert or you're going to die. They didn't have a third choice.
Right.
Okay, so people think that because they were forced into it, it was made easy to come back to Judaism when they would leave it. But while they were having their, what was that? Okay, when they were doing their, making the sign of the cross and going to church, they were not going to be called, oh, you wanted a Leah today? Not going to happen. Okay, there is a text called the Margulis Hayom, okay, which is a compendium primarily with halakhic. It talks about halachic issues, okay. It discusses this Sanhedrin 44a, which most people quote as, even though a Jew sins, he remains a Jew, okay. And the Margulis Hayom explicitly says, Rabbi Abba Bar Zavda said, even though he sins, he is called Israel. Here we are talking about a Jew who has only sinned. However, one who separates himself from the community and leaves, God forbid, the ranks of the living God. Many rabbis who make legal decisions, okay, rule that they have the status as Gentiles. So even in rabbinic literature, okay, you've got the idea that while they're clinging to their idolatry, they're not considered Jews. If they want to come back, we can make it easy. But while they are Christian, voluntarily becoming Christian, making the choice for Christianity, converting, baptism, whatever, they're not Jews.
Right.
Okay. And by the way, you've got that in numerous places. Okay. Let's see. Rabbeinu Gershom is quoted in Baruch of Rottenburg, okay, and he says it was revealed to me that one who converts to another religion doesn't inherit from his father. Well, why wouldn't he inherit from his father? Because he's not considered a Jew anymore. Okay. The Mordechai on Kiddushin 492, Tzadok Gaon Rabbeinu Hananel ruled the same way. The son of a person who converts out does not inherit from his father, meaning they're not considered a Jew. Okay, so there are numerous places, numerous people, okay, who will say that. By the way, let me do this. We were just going to what's his name, Chabad.org. Okay, do this yourself, would you please?
Sure.
You want to go to Chabad.org. Okay, you want to go to Mishnah Torah. You want to go to avo.kochavim, and you want to go to 2.5. Okay?
I'm looking for it now. Hang on. How come I didn't type? What the heck? Oh, I'm on the wrong keyboard. Dang it. Keep forgetting about that. 1 second.
Let's see if I can send this to you somehow.
Okay.
It's not going to let me do this. You know it's not. Okay, how do I do this? I separate. I make a paragraph at.
Okay, hold on. Tell me where you're going now.
Okay.
What am I looking for?
I tried to text it to you, but I mean.
No, just tell me the name of the chapter and verse.
Okay. It's go to Chabad.org.
I'm already there.
It's called Mishnah Torah. And you're looking for Avodat Kochavim. Avodat. And then the next word is Kochavim. Kochavim. Okay. Sorry. All right. Avodat Kochavim. And
okay.
It's chapter 2.
I'm looking at it now. Hang on. I gotta wait for it to find. Oh, about chapter 1, chapter 2. There's video by Yehoshua Gordon. I don't see any text though. Hang on. Books. Yeah. Oh, it's on all. Actually, it's probably in there. Let me look and see. Let me get past the videos. Okay, here we go.
If I could figure out a way to, here's the website. I've got it right in front of me.
Chapter 2, Avodat Kochavim is here, and now I've got it. Okay, and what verse or what reference number?
It's chapter 2, section 5.
Okay, section 2, 3.
And I really want this up before I even.
I got it. You know. Hang on 1 second. Don't even start reading until you see it on your side. Give me about 15 seconds. Oh, I got to scale it down. It's actually too big. Hang on. There we go. I'm just pulling up the English so it's easier to see. Section 5, right? A Jew who serves false gods.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, but read what it says. Okay. A Jew who serves false gods is considered like a Gentile in all regards and is not comparable to a Jew who violated another transgression, punishable by being stoned to death, like Achan, okay, in our biblical story. An apostate who worships false gods is considered to be an apostate with regard to the entire Torah. And then it says, similarly, Jewish minim, what's a minim? Okay, ex-Jew, now a member of a non-religion, okay, are also considered to be Jews with regard to any matter. They're not considered to be Jews with regard to any matter. Mishnah Torah, Avodat Kochavim, chapter 2, section 5.
Okay.
Okay, this is Rambam. Okay. You know, you can see the same thing in where'd it go? The Real Messiah. I can't find it. The Real Messiah by R.A. Kaplan.
Right.
Okay. He writes his text for it's called The Real Messiah. It's written by, it's published by the Union of Orthodox Jewish Congregations of America. They're the same people who put the OU on foods, okay? And he's doing it on behalf of the NCSY, which is the Orthodox Youth Group. And if you have the anthology of R.E.A. Kaplan, I don't know where it is. It's page 270. Okay, page 270 of the R.E.A. Kaplan anthology, book number 1. Okay. I don't know. Actually, I think JewsForJudaism.ca has the text. Okay. You could probably show that too.
Where am I going to find that?
I think Jews for Judaism has the full text.
Okay.
Here, wait. Let me. Jews for Judaism, the real Messiah. Here it is. Nope, that's Amazon.
Okay, hang on. I'm going to find it for you.
Yeah, here's a PDF of The Real Messiah by R.E.A. Kaplan, which you should download.
Okay, Real Messiah Part 2. There it is right there. Jewish Response 64 R.E.A. Kaplan. There it is right there. Okay, let's see if this is it. 64-page book. Click here to download the booklet. Oh, yeah. Said to download it to be able to see it. So, anyway.
Can you do that?
Sure. Click here to download.
I know we're taking up extra time just to, show this. But if you go to page in the download, okay.
Oh, hold on. I just realized something. I put in the wrong address. Give me just a minute.
Right. Okay. In the download from JewsForJudaism.ca, okay, called The Real Messiah. It's a PDF.
All right.
Go to page 11.
I'm not there yet. You have to give me a second here.
Take your time.
There it is. Okay, now let's try that again. Okay. Okay, there's that right there. Messiah. I see the book. I guess I want to do
While you're doing that, can I say some things?
Sure.
Okay, look. People want to make it clear as a bell, and they want to make it one-sided. Oh, once a Jew, always a Jew. A person who sins is always a Jew. Is still a Dayan Hu Yisrael. He's still Israel. He's still a Jew. And it's just not that clear. And there are plenty of other rabbis who will disagree with that statement. Also from Chazal, also from rabbinic literature. Rambam, for one, which we just read. Okay, R.E.A. Kaplan, one of the most well-respected rabbis of the Orthodox community of the past 100 years, okay, publishing books after book after book, okay, when you bring it up, you'll see, doesn't agree with the statement that just because a Jew who sins is still a Jew. He says, well, that's talking about like if he eats treif. We're not talking about somebody who fully converts to another religion. When you convert to another religion, you're not a Jew anymore. So,
okay, tell me where I'm going. I've got it here.
Page 11.
Page 11, okay.
In the download from of The Real Messiah, it's page 11. If you go to the anthology, the book, there are 2 book anthologies, it's page 270, but it's the same text.
Okay, no matter how many miracles a prophet might induce, that's one. When a Jew becomes a Christian, yep. Okay, hold on a second, let me put that up.
Okay, but you're going to go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 paragraphs.
I gotta get this thing scaled down again. 1 second. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This brings us back to our original question: what can a Jew lose by embracing Christianity?
Exactly, and the answer is everything. Christianity negates the fundamentals of Jewish faith. Okay, and I can't read on your text. Can you
yeah,
make that
sorry.
smaller?
You know what? I already did. I just forgot to send it over. My bad. Okay.
Thank you. Okay, this brings us back to our original question, what can a Jew lose by embracing Christianity? The answer is everything. Christianity negates the fundamentals of Jewish faith, and one who accepts it rejects the very essence of Judaism. Even if he continues to keep all the rituals, it is the same as if he abandoned Judaism completely. The Talmud teaches us whoever accepts idolatry denies the entire Torah. And here's the kicker line. R.E.A. Kaplan, writing for the Orthodox Union of Orthodox Jewish Congregations of America on behalf of the National Conference of Synagogue Youth, the Orthodox Youth Group, writes, a Jew who accepts Christianity might call himself a Jewish Christian, but he is no longer a Jew. He can no longer even be counted as part of a Jewish congregation.
Wow. Notice
that it says 16, that little bitty note.
Yep.
Okay. If you go to the 16, if you go to the note of what 16 refers to, it refers to the Mishnah Torah Avodat Kochavim, chapter 2, paragraph 5, which we just read. So he's referring to Maimonides, where Maimonides in the Mishnah Torah says that a person who converts to other religions is no longer a Jew. Okay?
Right.
So other people will argue with me tooth and nail, especially if a person has basically once been a Christian. Okay. By the way, there are rabbis in tradition, in history, who, if a person wanted to convert, start over. If a person had joined Christianity and then wanted to come back to Judaism, they actually demanded them a ritual-like conversion. Okay, and they may not have said, oh, well, you're converting back, but everything they had them do was the same thing that a convert does. Okay, a lot of times now there's something called a gerut lechumra, which means, look, you know and I know you're still Jewish at heart, but now nobody else can argue with us because we're doing a conversion for the sake of appearance. You don't really need to do this, but we're having you do it anyway. Well, according to R.E.A. Kaplan, yeah, you need to, because once you're a non-Jew, you have to convert back. Okay, and I'm sure that people will disagree, and I'm sure that, but I just gave you the evidence. Okay?
Right.
Why am I so machmir? Why am I so stringent, okay, on this issue? Because I'm not going to say that Jews for Jesus are right. You can be a Jew and a Christian at the same time. Either you can be a Jew and a Christian at the same time, or you cannot be a Jew and a Christian at the same time. Mm-hmm. You can't have it both ways.
Right, right.
So make it easy on their return? Absolutely. Welcome them warmly back with open arms? Absolutely. Pat them on the back and say, thank God you've come back to the real truth? No question.
Right.
But while they are Christian, their status is not Jewish.
Agreed.
Nobody I know is going to give them an aliyah to the Torah. Wait a minute. I thought you said they were really Jewish. If they're really Jewish, wouldn't they get an aliyah to the Torah? Okay. Wouldn't they be counted in minyan if they're still Jewish?
Word, yeah.
I thought all Jews, above the age of 13 years plus one day get counted as the men get counted as a minyan. You can't have it both ways. You can't say yes or no.
That's a good point.
And in the same way, okay, William, in the same way that the world needs people saying, oh, no, you're still a Jew, come back. The world also needs people who are stringent and say, I'm sorry, you're not a Jew. You got to convert to come back. You have left the Jewish people and left God and Judaism. You push away with one hand, you pull away with the other. I'm sorry, but my personality says you're not a Jew anymore.
Right. Yep, I hear you. Well, depending on what this next caller's question is, we only got about 4 minutes left.
Well, they're probably going to call in to argue with me. So.
Oh, really? I see. Should we give it a chance, or should we hang up?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, we got to end it quickly though. It's about it's almost an hour right now.
I know.
Okay. All right, here we go. Caller, welcome to the show. Please tell us your name, where you're calling from.
Hi, it's Holly from South Dakota.
Hi, Holly. How are you?
And I'm not calling to argue.
Thank you.
Hi. I'm good. Well, actually, I'm in quarantine, and yeah, like
stay
everybody.
Stay safe, stay healthy.
So thank you. My son's very high risk, so I haven't seen him in almost a week, so that's been hard. He's been
Poor
with the
kid.
grandparents, but
Right.
yeah. But so here's a question I've always had, and it's kind of along these lines. So a person who's Jewish, born Jewish, but they're secular, and like for instance, when I visited Israel, I spent a lot of time in Tel Aviv, and there are many, I assume, Jewish people who weren't adhering to Shabbat. Their businesses were open, and you saw a lot of young couples who probably were living together. And how does the idea of sin apply to a person who is born Jewish by their heritage, but they're not keeping the commandments, but yet they're Jewish?
And they're not Christian. They're just simply a secular Jew, probably, is what you're saying?
Right.
Okay.
Right, exactly. They're just secular.
So what is their
Yep.
accountability to Hashem? What's the repercussion for them being a secular Jew not fulfilling the mitzvahs?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, perfect.
My answer would be they're sinning. Okay, it's a sin of omission. Okay, and it's not the same thing as willfully defying, because they don't know any better. It's like there's the analogy in Judaism is a tinok shenishba, a stolen child, a kidnapped child. Okay, so you've got a couple who have a child, and they're all Jewish, and then the child gets kidnapped and taken away, but the child has no earthly idea that it's Jewish. Is it held responsible for the fact that it's not keeping kosher? Okay, keeping Shabbat, keeping the mitzvot, the commandments? And the answer is, well, he's supposed to be, but he doesn't know he's supposed to be. So he's like a kidnapped child. So the secular Jewish community, they're kind of like kidnapped by their secularism. Okay, they're kidnapped by their parents who didn't raise them, who made the choices for the child. Okay, I can't imagine God is going to be as angry with them as somebody who knew everything and turned their back on it.
Right, totally agreed.
Okay, yeah. or learned about Judaism and then said, God forbid, cursed be God. Okay, I'm not saying, you know what I mean.
Right.
Okay, it's not the same thing, and I can't. The God in whom I believe is a compassionate, merciful, forgiving, gentle, loving God, and it's just not the same. Technically, okay, yes, they're supposed to be keeping kosher, but if they don't know anything about it, how can they be held liable for it?
Right, yeah. Yeah, that's just something I always wondered, well, especially because, people who want to convert to Judaism are often, kind of given the warning of, it might be better for you to stay in Noahide because, once you're Jewish, you're bound to these laws.
Holly, I cannot begin to tell you how much I really hate when I hear people saying that. Okay, hey, I got this great big hot fudge sundae, and it's got wonderful different ice creams with it, and hot fudge and caramel and whipped cream and cherry, but you can only have vanilla. It to me it is no. I call me a missionary, call me a weirdo, a nutcase. I want the world to convert to Judaism. Okay, I think a person would have a better life. Okay, doing as much Judaism as they can do than if they don't do Judaism at all. My faith, my trust is in God and in Judaism. God created on earth. Okay, there's a reason why the Pharisees that became the rabbis survived, and the Sadducees and the Essenes and the Zealots and whoever I'm missing, Essenes didn't survive. Okay, chosen by God. So I don't like the idea of, scaring somebody. If you read the rabbinic literature, you're not supposed to scare somebody with, oh, you're going to be a sinner. You tell them about the easy commandments and let them grow into Judaism. But that's just me.
Yeah. No, but it's interesting because I do see that like in a lot of discussions on Facebook platforms and stuff on,
it bothers the heck out of me when I see it.
Yeah. So, no, but that's good to hear from you. I appreciate that. So So, well, all right. See, I made your last question fairly easy, right?
That was awesome.
Kind of.
Then a great question for sure.
Holly, stay safe, stay healthy. Okay. And by the way, I hope you're working on your book.
I am, and I'm going to probably be needing editors. So I'll
be happy to edit. Okay.
So,
There we go.
I'm
yes.
All right.
Awesome. Holly, thank you.
All right.
Thank you for your call, Holly.
Yeah, you guys stay safe as well. Have a
Very
good
good.
night.
Thank you.
Blessings.
Thank you too.
Bye-bye.
You too. Awesome.
Bye.
All right, Rabbi. I guess that's going to be a wrap. That's cool. It's good. Good question timing and everything for all the topics we were on. Actually blended quite well.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah, very nice, very nice. So log out, boom. No more noises there. All right, well, super cool, man. We'll had a great week. Well, Hashem willing, we'll see you same time, same place next week, Rabbi, or sooner.
Absolutely.
Right? Not if I see you first. Shalom, everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you all for tuning in. We'll see you on the other side. Shalom, shalom. Bye bye.
Bye.
All right.
מי אתה אתם תמיד תמיד כולם ביחד חשוב מכל חשוב והכרחי להיות ביחד איפוק זו העוצמה